Good day, everybody. This is SurvivorCircle for March 19th, 2024. And our topic for the day is some new breaking news concerning UFO photographs. Actually, UFO crash photographs. Lord knows we've seen enough of the lights in the sky and Batman balloons and all sorts of other fun and games, but this one's a little bit different. I was watching something the other day. Russ Coolart, he's with News Nation or Nation News or something that's been following the UFO, that really has based their new network on his work with UFOs. And he's been doing a pretty good job of it. And he was doing an interview with someone else who I've also heard of, we've all heard of, Danny Sheehan. And Danny was telling him a story about the time he got to see the 700 top secret Blue Book files. All the ones that they couldn't explain away, that weren't birds or Venus or swamp gas, were in the top secret file. And he managed to get the opportunity to look at that set of files in microfiche for a report that was supposedly for Jimmy Carter. So this goes back a ways. His immediate superior in doing this report was Dr. Marcia Smith, who I had never heard of before whatsoever. And she was the head of the Congressional Research Service of the Library of Congress. Danny had been working for the Vatican doing a very similar report. Are there other beings out there? What are we going to do if we should happen to find out? You know, that speculative kind of research, which there was a lot of that going on. That would have been like 74. So even going back to the original Brookings report, I think in 1960, where they were looking at that kind of thing. And they said, oh, hell no, don't even act like there's anything there, because they're going to go crazy. Ha! They'll be running from the green-eyed monsters, you know? So, okay. A new study for the new president, who had a sighting himself, which was highly made fun of, along with the campaign. But he just said, look, this is what I saw. I don't know what it was. I can tell you several things that it wasn't, but I don't know what it was. And he just let it go at that, which you could do in those days, I guess. You can't. I don't think you can get away with it now, but you could do that in those days. But he got the opportunity in a highly secured skiff in a building in Washington, D.C., to spend some time, a short time, with those top secret Blue Book files. Project Blue Book, which had ended around somewhere in the early 60s, had been the Air Force's kind of secret program, analysis program, collection point that had looked at thousands and thousands of UFO reports. And most of them had just been, yeah, lights in the sky. Yeah. Wasn't one of ours. Don't worry about it. Must have been swamp gas. Must have been drinking too much. Have no idea. But there were 700 cases that were never released, were found to be credible, but were kept secret. 700 files, 700 top secret files. He got to look at those top secret files. And among those, he saw some photographs of a UFO crash, kind of like the one I put on the little, he described it as a winter scene of a 50-foot saucer-shaped craft that was buried into a bank at about 45 degrees, surrounded by Air Force personnel in uniform who were doing such mundane things as taking pictures, taking movie pictures, measuring with tape this crashed, but mostly intact flying saucer. So he noticed on the flying saucer, on one part or in more than one picture, that there were alien letters. They weren't anything he was familiar with. They weren't Cyrillic characters. They weren't Chinese characters. They weren't hieroglyphs. They were like letters, but not anything he'd ever come across. So what he did was, for those who don't know what a microfiche works like, it projects it's like an overhead projector that projects and usually it's a text document onto like a copying machine. Okay. And he traced on the back of his legal pad, which he managed to walk in with unnoticed, he took a pencil and pencil outlined these characters. Okay. From each of the several, right directly from the projector onto the back of the pad. And left. He was accosted and searched. Saying, "What are you doing with that pad? You're not allowed to have that in there." He said, I wasn't paying any attention. I'm a lawyer. That's what I do. I carried legal pads around. I knew I wasn't allowed to use it. So they took his pad, flipped through it, and saw that he had written nothing in the pad, gave it back to him, and he left. But he had direct evidence of these alien characters on the back of a legal pad. I'd never heard that before. My first thought was, how the hell did he do that? And how can he even talk? How can he talk about it? How can he talk about this? They'll be arresting him tomorrow. And I said, there's got to be an out here. There's got to be an out. He had talked about viewing those files, and basically what he saw in those files. Back in the early 2000s. In fact, I couldn't find a full the full article, but Grant Cameron did a 8-page article about the Marcia Smith story back in 2009, 2010, that covered everything that happened. It was basically word by word for word description of the same incident, except for the part about the pictures. I mean, he said he saw pictures, but he didn't talk about the insignias that he had copied. And that's significant. That's different. That's taking something out of a skiff. Okay, which is, I guess he did, but you could do it from memory too. But anyway, I thought, how is he figuring on getting away with this? Okay. Then I remembered about Denny, something that he had always said, and I just kind of blew it off. He said, I have never signed a non-disclosure agreement. I've never signed a security agreement. I've never taken an oath. So he's free. He is free to say that. He is free to talk about this. He may have done a little trickery, but that's not a big enough trick to get him sent to prison. Okay? And he's been rubbing shoulders with some very influential people of late in Washington. And he didn't do this by accident. He wasn't gabbling, and this was an intentional release, which I think it's been a couple of weeks at least since this was first put out on the internet, and I've happened to find out, just happened to buy it, and then I fell down the freaking rabbit hole. Thinking, who the hell is Marcia Smith? Well, the first thing, and I was talking with our friend Alan, and excuse me, he said, well, what happened? They were doing this presidential study, and it was for Carter. Has he ever acknowledged that he saw this? No. In fact, he has often stated that he didn't get anything back. Okay, the study was ordered, but he didn't get any. Carter has said he never got any information back on it. I'm thinking, so who the hell is this librarian? Who the hell is this librarian that can withhold information from the President of the United States? That's just wild. But I mean, I'm sure it wasn't that she was directly handing this over. And the other thing was, I wonder if Danny still has those pictures that he drew. Well, I'm sure he does not, because he would have turned those over along with his report to Dr. Marcia Smith.
Or to the Vatican.
Or the Vatican. Well, yeah. And the Vatican. Almost certainly. But he's not going to pull that out of his old briefcase and stand up and show it on TV. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that way.
He's probably put it on his wall wherever he lives, and he put wallpaper over it. So whoever gets the house,
I think he is smart enough to know that he couldn't keep it.
So Oofy said lemon juice. He
Yes, I
wrote
need that
on the pad with lemon juice.
What?
That's what she got out of it.
Oh, a yellow pad with, yes, whatever. Anyway, he had a micro. No, he didn't even have a Leica. You know, I've seen those. Those are really cool. They're about the size of half the size of a matchbox. They take really good pictures. Yes. The second generation ones even have a little string on the side, little beaded, like a light pole, to make sure that the camera is exactly the right distance for best focus above the document. Those are not
That's smart.
quality stuff. Those Germans, they really knew how to. Anyway, just heads up, folks. There'll be more of this coming down the bike, I'm sure. And it's not. I talked to somebody who might have seen a picture. This is close. This is close to having an actual picture as we've ever come so far. And I find it. See, I've been blowing the whole new UFO disclosure off, because no matter what they say, it's not anything new. Okay? I was with a jungle crew in Panama in 1969, and we got run off by unknown military guys, because we saw a giant flying saucer. It's a story. It's just a freaking, unless you have something of evidence, something evidentiary. Okay, for Danny, he was there. We know he was there. That we have a history going back to 1984 or something like that. He was there. He was in the right place at the right time. He demonstrated some good basic spyware. He knew what he could take and he knew what he couldn't take. He knew he had a special opportunity because he was looking at this stuff without an oath or a non-disclosure oath. So he had a very special opportunity and he took it. So more coming. I didn't even know that there were an acknowledged 700 top secret Blue Book files. So even that to me, which obviously it's been out there for a long time that there were, but he's the only person I've ever heard of who claims to have seen them, at least in part. Okay? And that's special. So this is different. And I look forward to hearing more from him on this.
If he doesn't suicide himself.
Oh, please. I was just watching a video right before I came on. A bit of a background on the Boeing safety engineer, 30-year guy that committed suicide the day before his testimony in court. Yeah.
But the Clintons have been getting away with it for years. So what's one more? And
Well,
they're probably not even involved. But
yeah,
what's one more?
yes, yes. They're not the only ones. There are
No,
almost, well, I mean, there are
it's so
absolutely
sad.
certainly others that have met their
Oh
demise.
yeah. Have
But
you ever watched the series? So it was on Netflix, and it was House of Cards.
Dark, oh, House of Cards.
House of Cards.
I don't think I did.
That was Kevin Spacey. And if you want a inside look,
Dark. What was it? Dark. There was another like a sci-fi UFO
Dark
series,
Skies.
Dark Skies.
Mhm.
Was it Dark? Yeah, it was Dark
It was
Skies.
Dark. There's a
Going back,
movie called Dark
going back,
Skies.
yes, but going back into the Kennedy administration, and
Oh no, that wasn't the name of it. No.
Dark something or other. But that covered a lot of the same thing, and a lot of the dirt, the really, well, I mean, just not that different from what was talked about in the X-Files. You know, people disappearing and people getting blown up and all kinds of things like that.
Our dark government's just wonderful. Every bit of it. The dark budget, or they call it the black budget, the black government,
A
whatever.
lot of that, a lot of this stuff. Uh, I can give you my word. It exists. You know, you can say all you want. You can talk about all you want. It's real. It is real, and it can reach out there and touch everybody. You know, it has
Well,
that.
Project Blue Book kind of would have been, had it not been public, that would have been what you would have called a black project type of thing. But they made that public so people would think the government gave a shit that they had UFO sightings or they had something like that going on. So
Yes.
they came up with that.
Well, Blue Book was the public. Blue Book was a publicly acknowledged program that civilians could report to directly. But the really good cases, they skimmed off and put in the other drawer that nobody was allowed to look at. And, you know, nobody. And I'm sure they told the people that brought them those stories that they weren't allowed to talk about them anymore. Okay? That would have been just part of the protocol. Yes, I have been reading when I could find time. Ufi, I have been reading the handbook. I haven't got to the good parts yet, but I so enjoyed the crossword puzzle.
I need to get the handbook. And
Yes, you do.
we talked about this, was it Sunday?
Yes.
Monday, Tuesday's gone by, and whatever. I just
You could
okay, so this is how bad my memory is. So I remembered to order flowers for a funeral 45 minutes after the funeral had started.
Okay.
This is how bad my memory is.
Okay.
But anyway, which I hate being that person, but I'm just that person. I don't send cards. I just don't. I'm thinking about you, but I'm not taking any action to show you that I'm thinking about you.
I understand how that goes. It's the thought that counts.
And it's not that I think that I'm more important than anything. It's just like I get so involved in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at the calendar and I'm like, oh, fuck. So somebody's birthday was 3 days ago.
Well, I had a early morning, just as I was waking up, kind of illumination this morning. It says, quit the guilt. Drop the guilt. It's not doing you any good. You're doing the best you can. Stop wasting your energy feeling guilty about things that you have no control, no further control over, and let it go. I said, yeah, I guess that was something for those who are waiting to hear about my hypnosis session. God, was that?
That was Thursday.
Wow. My, how time flies when you're having fun. Okay. Yes, that was last Thursday. It was very interesting. I didn't get an answer to the question I wanted to ask, that I did ask, but I got an answer to the question that I needed answered. So I'll settle for that, you know. My guides are being nice to me, I think, on this manner. They're not slapping me around like they have before because I'm listening now. Okay. I'm really listening. I swear I'm listening. I'm trying to process this. Now, white man, know what Indian feel. The waves of inevitability rolling toward yes, it's all about fighting. Don't fight the tide. And we're not talking about laundry detergent. No man stops the tide. But yeah, I'm still working. It was a fascinating experience. I'm really, really glad I finally got up the courage to do it. Had no idea what to expect, which was intentional. I didn't go into researching what it felt like to other people because I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it clean. You know what I mean? That's been something I've worked on both 3 cases. I wanted to get everything on paper, locked down, clean, before I start doing some of this other more woo-woo stuff. And it's only woo. It is woo-woo, but it's not. It makes a great deal of sense. Makes a great deal of sense. And I'll be doing that again. Just not right away. I need time to process. Okay. So
But you were talking about you didn't like investigate or look into what anybody else does with that.
Right.
That's exactly the same thing that I like to do. I like to go in cold on any investigation. I want to get my evidence. I want to get that together, and then I will present that to whoever's there. You know, the owners of the home or business or whatever. And I give that to them. And then if any of that resonates with them, they'll convey that to me. But if it's something that's completely off the wall, I mean, if it has something to do with the home and not them, it's not going to mean anything. So then that's when you have to go in and then you can do your, to me, then I'll go and, because if none of that connected with them, then I need to find out why that's happening. So then that way I can let them know, okay, here's the history of the land, the home, owners, things like that. Like a jar of Splenda, I just throw that shit out the window. There's no reason to have, oh, Marco, you can't even see my hair, honey. I've got on black and it's dark. But thank you anyway.
Oh my God.
But
yes, it's my favorite shirt. What can I say? It really is. I don't know why. I think
Okay.
somebody must have complimented this shirt one time.
And it
So it's
stuck
my
with you.
favorite shirt. Yeah, it's
Mm.
become my favorite shirt.
Well, and see,
I like
we
it. I
did
like it better. I like it better than my Hawaiian shirt. So
so we did the yin and yang thing. I've got on black, you've got on white. Last week we completely had the same. You had on
true
UK
blue.
Kentucky blue. I was so proud of you, even though you live in Ohio. But no, so there's been times that I've gone to investigations and there's evidence. You hear what stories. Of course, you interview the people before you go to
Mhm.
make sure you're not
Yeah,
walking into a death
safety
trap.
and
Anyway,
safety. That's just before it
yeah.
really.
So, anyways, so from what they tell you, you're kind of going to know in your evidence. But if nothing, absolutely nothing matches, then that's when you really do a whole lot of research. Maria is going to take me on a first go. Where do you want to go, Marco? Because now I'm going to tell you something. I don't carry all this equipment. I used to do that. I had the newest, best, whatever.
Maria travels light.
Yeah, very light. But I bought one of those Connects cameras, SLS cameras,
Hmm.
where you can map out a figure.
Oh, cool.
And I had that and I tested it out at my home, my other house, a few times, caught exactly what I thought I was going to catch. And um, took it on the first investigation with it. Seymour, Indiana, I think's where I went to. And whatever was going on about there absolutely destroyed that. So it wouldn't allow me to capture anything that it was doing. The Caribbean, I think the spirits down there are just fine when you drink them. Yeah, the pirates. Captain Jack. But going back to the UFO thing,
Mhm.
and I was telling you what I was listening to, trying to listen to all day today.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, and this is the one thing that absolutely drives me crazy is they act like the only evidence of any of this that's ever happened is through the military.
Correct.
Like nobody's videos, nobody's pictures, nobody's experiences, nothing about this happens unless the military has that evidence. And it
Correct.
drives me insane
Yes.
because the government has spent so many years destroying people's lives for
Yes.
sharing the experiences that they have. And they,
When Doppler radar first got distributed to all the all the TV stations, weathermen, okay? There were several times when those Doppler radars picked up weird shit, okay? Stuff going extremely fast across the radar screen. And what very few, I can't even find documentation of it, okay? But this was about 2 years after Doppler radar got widespread. They went in and rewrote all the software. It doesn't show stuff moving too fast. It doesn't show most stuff that's hard targets that are not moving. and it doesn't show stuff beyond a certain altitude. Okay? It was written out of the civilian radar systems. Because you guys, you're weathermen, you don't need to know that. You're a weatherman. Oh, don't worry about that stuff. It's unimportant. And I swear, you have my testimony only that was done. I don't know. I'm kind of into aviation kind of things. Was where I picked up that little sidebar about rewriting the software. I swear I read it, but I've since looked for it to find it. Can't find it. Can't find it anywhere. Can't find any documentation of that anywhere.
That's like, how many times would you see a story about? So you'd be looking at the radar, and then all of a sudden, all of these waves would go out from it.
Waves and big starbursts.
Yes.
Yes.
And people were commenting about that, and they were like saying, "Oh, that just
pay no attention to that. That's just,
don't look behind. Don't look at the man behind the screen.
Yes.
Behind the curtain." The last one that I ever saw, and I got so tickled because I've known this kid since he was 3 years old. He's now a meteorologist. Okay. And there was something that come off of the Doppler radar here in Bowling Green.
Okay.
And tried to say it was butterflies.
Oh, do you remember?
That's what the government was telling him to say.
Remember something that was coming out about that time? About the bird kills. Thousands of birds, thousands of blackbirds drop out of the sky, just dead. And that was showing up as an anomaly on these Doppler radars.
Oh, but they said it was the sudden cold weather, and they weren't used to it.
There were fireworks in the area, and they panicked the birds, and they just had sudden heart attacks.
Yeah, just
thousands of them.
Yeah. Oops. What else was it? Oh, so I can remember seeing this myself. Can't tell you. I want to say it was 2015, December. I don't.
Okay.
Probably totally fucking wrong, but that's what stuck in my head. But I can remember I pulled up the radar.
Okay.
And you see this huge, looks like this huge line of storms that have just developed, and that was moving. See, and the reason I looked at it, and I was curious because it was Madisonville, and that's where I was born and raised. That's where my sister still lives, and at that time, my mother. And I was like, man, they're getting a hell of a thunderstorm, and this thing was slowly moving southeast, which meant the way it looked, it was going to miss me, but it was going to hit Bowling Green.
Okay.
And I watched this for a long time. Well, lo and behold, it was not a thunderstorm. Didn't have anything to do with rain. The military, Fort Campbell. Now, mind you, I live between Fort Knox and Fort Campbell.
Okay.
The military did something where they released this stuff out of the planes. I can't remember what it was called because this happened in Alabama, and there was a TV show about it because it looked like a huge storm was fixing to come through, and there was like nobody was reporting rain. I can't remember. AR ought to know this shit.
Chaff?
Yes.
Okay.
They released that, and it was showing up on the radars. So it looked like this huge thunderstorm was coming through. Severe weather might be happening, but it wasn't that. And I remember I kept watching it, and I was like, I should be seeing lightning.
Maybe it was a chemtrail.
Oh my God, don't get him fucking started. Because he don't believe in that either. Weather modification.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, so that was, and I remember, and I couldn't believe that it was like the next day I started seeing news
Mhm.
reports about this stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like when it happened in Alabama years before,
Hmm.
the military was denying it. Oh, he's listening.
Of course
Eric's
he is.
listening.
I know he was there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it was like, that was one of the things. It was like, but I don't understand what the function of that is because I've not done any research into it.
What's the function of chaff?
Yes.
Okay, that is to keep. If you were going to bomb Baghdad, okay, you will go over with a high altitude plane or something and drop all this little tinfoily stuff.
Okay. So, yes, I do know this. I
And
didn't
it
know I
floats
knew
in
it.
the air. That
Yes.
way
It blocks the
they
radar.
can't see they can't see get a radar fix on your plane to shoot a missile at you.
Yes, I did know this. Thank you for
Okay. Yeah.
putting that back in my brain.
Reminding, yes.
I tell
Yes.
you what, I had one of my girlfriends tell me one time, she's like, you have forgotten more about the paranormal than anybody will ever learn in their life. And I was like,
Probably true.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Probably true.
because every, because
It's
that's one of those things you go through. I'm an
darling,
investigator.
we've got a wonderful recorder up here,
We do.
but the index really sucks.
Well, but also we are the type of people that this is the shit we deal with.
Uh-huh.
So something that is insignificant to us would be somebody else's life altering,
Mhm.
mind blowing thing that would happen in their life. And
Yeah.
it's like you and I would go, oh,
Oh,
I'm
oh,
sorry.
that again.
Sorry, I revealed that to you. But
Mhm.
no, and it is. It's photographs that have been captured. And I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, my God, that is awesome. Something
Mhm.
that's been captured above me, behind me, or whatever. And I'm like, that is great. But I don't share it because to me, it's insignificant.
Mhm.
Because even though it was an awesome picture, I'm like, to me, in my mind, everybody should know this. Everybody should already know that this shit happens. So I
Mhm.
don't share anything because to me, it's minute. It's a little drop in the bucket of
Mhm.
water.
Yes.
So when the government says, "Oh, only their evidence is admissible," I'm like, you know what? Fuck you.
Exactly.
I am
Exactly.
so sorry.
No,
Apparently, everybody's lives that you destroyed and people that you killed, you've murdered.
the thing
That
that
was kind of significant.
in this latest incarnation of the disclosure movement, okay, I think it's hardware most of the time. A lot of it is, okay. I think it's ET, damn it, for the most part. But here's the point: several million people in the United States have had these experiences, okay, and they fit in a certain category. And they're people all over the world, from different cultures, different ages, different backgrounds, different educations, different languages, and they all claim to have seen the same thing. Okay? If it's not a physical object, if it's just some kind of a mental um, what's the word for that?
Anomaly.
Hallucination.
Yeah.
Okay? It still needs to be studied because it's everywhere. Everywhere. A certain percentage of the people have these experiences. Okay? Don't worry about hiding your top secret hardware. I could care less. Study the phenomenon. Okay? There is good information to be drawn from those experiences. Whatever, just do that. And you'll find, that you'll learn a lot of what you need to know. Or you'll learn a lot of what you don't know. Hi, Jay. Hope you got your mower running.
Yeah, no, and that's it's like as usual, as long as we pay our taxes, keep our damn mouth shut, everything's good. Our opinion means nothing. Our evidence means nothing. MUFON's evidence means nothing. The only thing MUFON's good for is the people that are investigators that can make money off of the reports that are coming in. What are you looking for, dude?
Oh, my I voted sticker. I thought it was in that pocket.
Yeah, it means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It means absolutely nothing. That's that's the thing that gets me. It's like if we got rid of our government for a day, we would feel good. But the other, we would never go back. We
would never open that door again.
Yeah. The other governments would think that they could come in and take over, but it's like, oh no, wait a minute. Let me introduce you to my little friend. But it would be insane. And I understand why we have government, but we have gotten to the point to where we just let them do wherever the fuck they want to. And the media tells us, oh, well, this bill that they just passed, oh, that's not, it doesn't mean what you think it means.
Yes.
This is actually what it is. Mm-hmm. So it's just.
They didn't just pass a bill that said they could spend $12 billion lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. They would never lie to you.
They would never do that. No.
They are your faithful servants.
Exactly.
Yes, master. We're coming to help you.
So, okay, Ron said he just noticed you put
my big Earth radio sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then I don't know if he's asking you this or if he's asking Jay this. Did you do the dishes?
Which, where?
He had time to, Harley's in the shop, time to work on a mower. Okay, so my mower needs work, but no, I'm not paying your service charges to drive all the way here to do that. I can do that shit on my own.
Throw it in the back of that pickup truck and come on up.
Bring it on up. Yeah, that diesel's that mower's wider than my truck.
Well, how about your four-wheeler? You haven't rid for 2.5 years.
Sitting out there. It's been sitting out there for a year. No. It's one of those things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh.
No, and yes, dishes are done, but not put away. It doesn't matter. They're done because you're going to use them again. So just pick them up the more you have them. No reason to put them away, dear.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm going to have to excuse myself for just a moment.
Okay.
Be right back.
I'll do a rerun. Going back to last Thursday when I had my hypnosis session. Part of the process, you get yourself set up in a light trance state. And you kind of walk through and you go to a door. And the question was, what was the first thing you experienced when you walked through the door? And I had a very poignant vision of a feeling of homecoming. Okay? The feeling that you walk into a place where you've been 1,000 times and you know it's safe. You know that when you walk through that door, you are loved. It's a very, very, very awesome feeling. Very rare feeling, but an awesome feeling. So that was the beginning of that experience. And I had several other feelings when I went through that. The I went through like a lighted space, and it was violet, kind of between a lavender and a pure purple, but just light. And some spots were darker and lighter, like a mottled surface. It was constantly moving. And I felt like a film, like a rainbow film, floating in and on that surface. It was kind of awesome. Yes, Jay, that's what it felt like. So like I said, I had that experience, and I got some answers to some things. The most most interesting thing that I got was I asked for the name of my guide. And I got back this: you are me, and I am you. Stop worrying about the time. A moment, a day, or 1,000 years. It's all the same. Be happy. The light you put out to the world reflects. That's some deep shit. I was well, that Maria and I are going to work on that. We will get some little sew-on eyeballs and make up some sock puppets just for you, Oofy.
Yeah, I don't think so. I love you, but no, that one's not going to happen. Oh, by the way, real quick, there's Lulu.
Oh, Lulu.
There's Lulu. Give you an update about Lulu.
Oh, Lulu has Lulu found a new home yet, or soon?
Next week.
Oh, next week. Okay.
If she doesn't have kittens before then I'll put it off a little bit. But, yeah.
I do not know much about the. Yeah. Thank you, Marco. Appreciate that.
Oh, listen. You can't hear any wind chimes.
I don't hear any people. I don't hear any tree peepers either.
My camera's not shaking back and forth. The wind has finally settled.
Ooh, quiet.
Quiet before the storm. No, it's never too quiet. The wind's been blowing for 2 days, and I've been not happy about it because it's been cold. As you can tell by the oh, spoke too soon. There we go. The world is what you put into it when it's all done. You look at your own life story and reflect and then judge yourself. But is that a good idea? To judge yourself?
Who else can?
Oh, I can. The whole internet can.
That's what the life review, the whole idea of a life review is that you do judge yourself.
Well, okay, so that's the thing. All right, so you've got the judgment that you put upon yourself. And then what is it when you die and you've not been baptized or whatever? You have the book of life that's laid out in front of you.
Yes.
And it shows you all that stuff. Dude, I've lived this shit in my brain all my fucking life. I don't need somebody else putting it on a projector.
Yes.
To go through the rest of me. So, that's another one of those things.
If you go back to the original Egyptian judgment thing, let me see it. Your heart is placed on a balance on one side, and the feather is put on the other side of the balance.
Yes.
Okay. And as long as your heart is lighter than the feather, you're okay.
God, whatever. You know what? We all torture ourselves.
Exactly, we do.
So your heart is always going to be heavy. It's never going to win. It isn't. I mean, we do that stuff.
You are forgiven if you forgive yourself.
Oh, but see, that's the thing.
I mean, some people would forgive themselves anything, or so we think.
Well, you do.
Okay. I've known some pretty fucked up people, fucking people in my life, and I think, oh my God, how do they even look at themselves in the mirror, let alone judge themselves?
But that's okay. So there you go. How do these people that treat other people like shit?
I don't want to be those people.
But that's what I'm getting at.
When I'm facing that balance.
But
thank God not.
Okay, so but I mean, there you go. There's people that go through their life, they treat everybody else like shit, and they think everything's fine. So they don't think they need to forgive themselves, let alone give anybody else any kind of slack whatsoever. So they don't have a conscience. If I was mean to somebody that didn't deserve it, listen to me. Like I'm laying judgment, you deserve for me to be mean to you. But there's people that go through their whole lives and they're just absolutely horrible to other people, and they don't have any problem being that way. And they don't think they're wrong in doing it. So who's judging and can you? We want a sock puppet. Sorry. I'll quickly.
Ooh.
Oh, Maria can be mean.
You wish, Marco.
Yeah. You kind of do.
Oh my God. Now this should be. So what have we done? We've done an hour. See, that's good. I did speak to Joey and Tanya.
Oh yeah.
About being on the show, and they're both willing to do that. But we'll have to schedule them.
Oh well, that's wonderful.
That's going to be. Oh hell, if I could really work this, if I whine and beg, maybe I could get them both. Maybe I could get them both to come on
At the same time?
same time. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool. Because I've not met them, but I've heard so many wonderful things between you and Ron about them
Mm-hmm.
that I think that would be great.
Oops.
Oh, sorry. We keep looking at the same time. I'll just keep doing this, and I'll let you control the clicker.
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind sharing. I can share.
Oh, okay. Well, that could lead into a lot of other things. But anyway.
What's mine is yours.
Yeah. There's been a few people that have regretted ever saying that.
See,
that's a whole nother. That's an after dark special.
After
that Kevin keeps wanting to do an after dark special.
You checked out from the show early, didn't you?
I did. I was in bed at 8:30 last night. It was done.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So yes, that Saturday I left here. I left my house at 5, a little after 5. And we had this nice, wonderful little dense fog advisory that got put out right before I left the house. And so it took me 2 hours to get to a destination that it should have just taken an hour and 15 minutes. But I'm going to tell you, and this is something I've never understood either. And I guess they have sensory deprivation where they just completely.
I'd love to be tanked.
Well, okay, so I was thinking about that while I was driving.
Were you watching? Was this from Joe Rogan?
Mm-mm.
That's one of his things.
Oh no. Oh. Some of the people at work were talking about the rooms. They've got these rooms here somewhere in Bowling Green that you can just that's what it is. And there's so many people that can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
But so while I was driving, and you can't see in front of you, and if I'd have turned on fog lights, all that did was put a halo around the vehicle. So I just had the dim, and I was like, when am I ever going to find any taillights? Somebody I can follow. Something. Because
what makes us always think that those taillights in front of us that are going 70 miles an hour
are going to be there.
Or that they're going to, or that they can see better than you can.
Oh, but I can follow your ass. And if you run off a cliff, I'll be right behind you.
Yeah.
But it was kind of one of those things. It's like you can't. I know this road. I have driven this road for years. But I'm like, what if all of a sudden it turns and I don't catch it? What if? So I'm doing like way below the speed limit because I'm in my mind. I'm like, I could drive this road blindfolded and never miss a beat. But when you become blindfolded and you need to drive that road, it's like there's something about not being able to see anything. I mean, I couldn't see the tree lines beside of me.
Yes.
Let alone anything in front of me. Yes. And all I could see was the dotted line and then the solid line. And I'm like, what if this turns suddenly and I miss it? You start thinking all of this crazy shit. But because I've always heard that people become so disoriented in fog.
Yes.
Of course, I'm old. God, I'm old. That shit bothers me. But I don't remember ever being 30 years younger and the fog bothered me. But I got to thinking, I was like, I never had a reason to be out this early in the morning with the phone. Yeah, I don't. Ooh, that's a good idea, Marco, because I don't have the yellow. But I still think it would, if they would be bright enough that they would put a halo around. I think a lot of that stuff is just so you can be seen more than you can see. But I drove for like an hour. I think how many miles it is. I drove several miles. I think like 30, I was 30 miles within my destination that the fog lifted. And then plus the sun had started to come up.
Okay.
And I was like, oh
I'm
my
trying
God.
to think. Isn't there a place? There's a place that I've been down through there. I think it's in Kentucky on 75, where they've had several, where they've had several major pileups.
Oh yeah,
due to
Eastern Kentucky.
Due to a smog situation. There's like a paper mill over here on the east side that the steam and the effluence from paper mill holds together. It's more cohesive than an ordinary cloud, and it's like a zero visibility fog that drifts across, and people go into it and panic and slow down.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Oh
now,
yeah.
Okay, I'm going down the expressway. It's 10 miles. Boom, punch through it. Grit your teeth for like 3 seconds and punch through it. Everything's fine. But if you're the one that flips out and hits the brakes, then everything starts happening. Everything starts collapsing.
Pile up ensues.
And nobody can see the crash until they hit it at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, I can remember. I'm trying to think where in 75 that would be. That's Eastern Kentucky. Way, way Eastern Kentucky.
I can't. I'm thinking it's like 50 miles south of the border on 75.
Yeah, 75 runs, north and south.
It's north and south, and kicks back into Georgia.
I've not been that direction in years. Oh my God. I haven't been that far.
Used to travel that to Florida a lot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. There's nothing there. Absolutely nothing.
No.
Unless you like to look at mountains and trees. Oh, this one question. Yeah, what's the most stupid question you've ever been asked? This one.
Oh my God.
No, I don't know.
What did I do with my damn voting sticker? I've been saving those for years.
I always put them on the back of my checkbook, my wallet. And I thought I think I put like 2 or 3, but then there was like I showed up there one time and there was a veteran. He was sitting there and he handed me my sticker, and I flipped my wallet over and added to it. And that brought that man so much joy. He's like, you saved all your stickers? And I was like, I save all of them. And I said, they eventually wear off, but I'll put a new one on. And he just smiled and hugged me. And he was like, that's the sweetest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, okay, I'm glad this has made you happy.
You're easy.
But I mean, that's what they fought for. I mean, in their minds, you've got, it's like everything that's happening now. I kind of think the people that were in World War I they would be so devastated, because the bullshit that the media is showing now between the who can use what bathroom and when. Um, I mean, I think that would bring tears. It would mine.
Yeah.
I can see, but that was all romanticized back in the day. Oh, now Oofy wants to know, would you consume endorphin? Yeah. Gummies?
Mm.
Yep, 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 yep. Would I wear a cat fur sweater? I wear one every day, sweetie. I have 3 cats that are in that. There it is. Now you
That's
got
not
it.
that's not today's.
Oh,
That's
what did you vote for today?
hmm?
What was today's?
The Ohio primary.
Mm,
Ohio primaries.
mm. Okay, so I still, every Saturday, I wake up and I don't remember until after the courthouse closes. Oh, shit. I need to go legally change my name there. There's another one.
Come on.
I don't know what I did with my art stickers. I don't know where they're at.
Hmm. Yes, I definitely would too. Endorphin. I don't know. I'm not sure. It depends. It depends.
Marco, honey, you have to donate some money
Hmm.
to Ert,
And
and
you'll
you'll
get
get a
your
sticker. You'll get it. I don't know what I did with mine. I've got my rundown live stickers.
I've even got an Earth hat here somewhere. Actually, that's put up. That's not for daily
That's
use.
not for everyday wear.
Yes, that's for special occasions.
Yeah, special occasions.
Mhm.
Oh, there you go, Ron. You've got another donor.
Another Earthling,
Another
another
Earthling.
Earthling.
Let's see. Joey and Craig will show. Whoop. Joey and Craig will show them when Craig is a guest. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, come on. Don't know. Lost touch. Well, I was looking for my stickers. I've got a whole bag of those stickers. Now I'm feeling awful that I lost today's sticker.
Hey,
My Jack.
it'll be okay. You've got
I'll find it.
plenty.
I'll find it.
Do you
No,
date every one of them on the back?
no, but I
So
should.
you don't
Anyway,
have a clue. That could have been
no.
today's sticker.
A couple of elections ago, they had a thing. All these people are coming in with no IDs and voting in 37 different precincts.
Don't start talking
So
politics, please.
I took all my stickers
Stop.
from different places and
Stop.
all different
Stop.
styles, and I took a
Stop.
picture and I took a picture and said, "Oh, it's been a long day." Put it on Facebook.
Stop.
So where I had voted in like 10 different places. Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Asshole.
Yes, of course. I guarantee it. I try as hard as I can. I like
You
to
don't
be.
have to try real hard, Charles. I'm just saying.
Yes, it's a guy thing. It's easy.
I don't think that's exactly a guy thing, but okay, whatever. I'll let you take the credit if you want to. But anyway, yeah. So we went from UFO crashes to voting. Let's not do that.
Okay. Anyway, I'm just, but yes, I really do need to get on that very diligently to get Joey and Tanya on. I think the 4 of us would have a wonderful.
What about Cheryl Costa? You haven't heard anything from her?
She's writing like a maniac.
She needs no distractions.
She writes like 4 chapters a day.
Mm.
Oh my! I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Yeah. For me to write a paragraph takes more time
It's excruciating.
than for her to write a whole fucking chapter.
But you know, and that was so funny because when she agreed to do the show with you,
yes,
and then it was like the next day, it was like an epiphany that hit her, and she posted. She's like, "This is what I'm going to write about," and she just took off. See, let's see. Oofy says, "See, just needs a sock puppet marching that Earth sticker back and forth." That's so cute. Yeah. Put it on Max.
Oh, Max.
Put it on Max and he can
Come here, Max.
Go back and forth. Yeah. Sweet little Max. Yeah, I'm
He's probably angry.
That's the same thing I want to know, Marco. What's with the
I locked him
puppet?
out. He's probably angry at me. I locked him out.
Oh, Charles, you're an ass. Can't lock that baby out. Oh my God. Oofy doesn't like us. She wants so
okay. We're doing the best we can.
Look, I offered up Lulu. I finally
the
whole story with her. If anybody's ever missed it, in late October, early November, she found me. And don't want her. She's not my cat. She's a sweet cat. She's absolutely lovable. Wonderful. Oofy, we can make some. No.
Oh my God.
Is that something like a Buffalo Bill?
Who was the puppet? Oh God.
We're not doing this Buffalo Bill shit. Sorry.
The puppet on the Muppets that was of the rock singer that died. Oh Lord, will buy me a Mercedes Benz. My friends all drive Porsches. I must. Joe. What was her name? Need to know. Come on, people.
I don't remember her name. I remember Animal. That's all. That's the only one I remember. I don't remember the one you're talking about. Didn't she have like green hair or blonde hair?
Long blonde.
Had a saxophone.
No, that was the other one of the other ones. What the heck?
Andy, I am not posting that comment.
Oh my. Jack,
No.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Nope.
Don't do it. Oh my God.
Wasn't her name Janice though?
Janice
Was
Johnson.
it Janice? Yeah.
Janice. Jesus Christ.
And that was a blast from the past. Oh Lord, Oofies.
I used to watch them. They run like late Friday night or something. I used to watch the Muppet Show to get in a good mood.
It was so much fun. It was so silly.
Oh yeah.
It was great. That was a spin-off of Sesame Street. He's still waiting on the smooth as butter comment. Always got to have toast.
Nothing wrong with toast. These I got. I just got the 2 left. I think. Yeah, we got 3. Yes,
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about my. Nope, I've got 2. Only got 2. How'd that happen? Anyway.
What are you talking about?
Talking about my stickers.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know if it was blow up girlfriends or what was going on over there.
I can put it on a little revolving.
Up in the corner, just where it turns.
Oh God. Maria, what are you drinking today?
4 Roses.
Woo! None of that good stuff for me today.
Got some 4 Roses. Way to go, Marco. That'd be perfect. I think, and him saying that is, that reminds me of an investigation that I did where we got a picture and it was, oh my God, it was wonderful. That's one of the best pictures I have ever gotten. But anyways,
Okay.
there's the woman of the home. She's
Mhm.
sitting there and she's looking like this direction. Her dog is below her barking this direction.
Mhm.
So there were several pictures taken at that time. And one of the pictures come up with this man standing there and you couldn't see no facial features. This was completely
Mhm.
black. He had on a bomber jacket.
Oh my God.
And what you could see below the table that she was sitting at, you could tell it was like khaki. So like, but anyways, and he's standing there, look like you could just tell that, and he was holding a hatchet, looking at the dog.
Okay.
No, and she wasn't seeing anything. She was like looking into the kitchen in a whole different direction. But this dog that was under the table looking up, barking, and this man was standing there with like a fucking hatchet. And it was like, that has been one of the most incredible captures I have
No kidding.
gotten. And, immediately turned it over to our graphics designer, photography specialist. There's no way in hell this could have been altered. And he took it and he turned it into several different things. And he was like, this is the most incredible picture I have ever seen. What are you searching, dear?
Didn't do it. I didn't get what I wanted to get.
Andy wanted to know if you saw that squirrel. I didn't see it. It was behind me. I didn't see it.
Okay.
Oh, that's the background music so you don't hear the dead air. It's better than the Jeopardy music.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking to share there, looking for the right button. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, well, we're all looking for the right button. It's just never
Always
happened.
looking for the right button.
Marco said that he booked us ghost hunt. Oh, at Myrtle Plantation. There you go. I can share a room with you. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. And stop screen. Yep. That was it. That was what we wanted. Squirrel.
Oh, you see this contemplation of quilts behind me?
Yeah.
I made a little house for Lulu.
Oh, it's the cat house.
Yeah, it's the cat house. Bless it.
Huh.
But okay, so that was that Muppet. What was the guy Muppet that was beside of her that played all the time? And his eyes were like weird.
Hidden part. Gosh.
Kev finds the right button. Yes, he
God.
does.
These Muppets have an entire
biography.
I had no fucking clue.
Yes, the ones had the side, and his eyes were like circles, like hollow circles.
Okay, let's see if we can.
But it was all in the band with Animal. And of course, Animal's always the one you're going to remember.
Come on. Okay, let's try this. Okay. I see him. I found him.
You found him. Woohoo! Oh, yeah. Yeah. The guy that's standing beside her.
The bass player.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, God.
Well, we always like to be nostalgic and say that was simpler times, but it wasn't fucking simple. It was in the 80s. There was nothing simple about the 80s.
God. No.
There was never anything. Charles is drinking good
God,
stuff.
how many people would that offend now? Oh, well, there aren't any yellow people in there.
Yeah, we don't have any yellow people in there. Sorry.
The blue people, orange people, shaggy people.
But you know what? And I got so tickled at my son. So there's my granddaughter is 2 and now, but like Sesame Street, everything Sesame Street. So we're watching these videos, and I don't know this guy's name, but it's a black guy. And like the upper half of him is a tuxedo, but the lower half of him is a dress, like a big hoop skirt type thing you would have found back in the 50s.
Okay.
And he hit the forward button. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I ain't watching that shit. And I was like, I guess I get it. But it's like, it's fucking Sesame Street. What part of that message is ever going to sink into her brain?
What was the one with Jack Lemmon and Tony
Bennett?
Probably back in the 60s.
I don't know about that.
Joining the Showgirls as in dressed up and went on stage with the Showgirls.
I don't remember that. I remember Victor Victoria.
Is that Some Like It Hot? It might have been.
I don't know. I never watched that movie.
But hey,
Tony Curtis.
The two of them together, they didn't look that bad.
But and it's like, okay, so now it's like we've got.
Now, but that was absolutely G-rated stuff back then.
And it's supposed to be. It is. But that's like the musical Hairspray.
Yeah.
The musical Hairspray.
Mm-hmm.
John Travolta is dressed up as a woman in this whole thing, and we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger. We've got all the white girls, white chicks.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Or Victor Victoria. And
Victor Victoria, I love that movie.
That was awesome.
Love that movie.
No?
And I'm not the least bit fucked up in my head for watching it.
Joke. Damn it.
It's hilarious. And even, I mean, it was like, do you remember back in the day whenever Tony Danza and Whoopi Goldberg were dating and he decided to do blackface?
Mm-hmm.
And it was okay then. It didn't piss her off. They didn't break up over it. But now, when they started going back into people's history of 20 and 30 years ago to destroy anything about them, my God, stop. Just quit. I mean, how stupid.
This is a terrible admission. When I was first married, we had a costume party,
Mm-hmm.
and I went as a ballerina.
But that's okay. You were a white guy going as a white ballerina. That's okay.
With hairy legs.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You know?
Hey, it was fucking funny. Okay?
Well, yeah, it was. And people got the humor and they didn't get offended and they didn't, I mean, come on. Come on. Yeah. Staying away from Charles when he's drunk.
That might have something to do with why I gave up alcohol. But I didn't give up alcohol for another 20 years. So there.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there you go. Sitcoms. Yeah, they used to be a lot of funny ones. There was one.
Are there any sitcoms left?
I don't know, but I can remember turning on the TV, and this was back in the late 90s. And I don't even know the name of the show. I know it was a blonde chick and her husband or whatever. I think I watched I didn't even watch it. It was like I saw it and then I flipped channels and then the next week I saw it again. But it was like one of the last ones where she would take a cigarette out and she would light it.
Why?
She would take a draw off of it and immediately put it out.
Yeah.
But I can remember too, what was it? Heat of the Night. That was an 80s, late 80s, going into the 90s. And I don't remember it then, but I've rewatched some of them. And they had, that's when they were talking about, that was the time when they started pushing drunk driving as something a law needed to be pushed against because they didn't do that back then. So you're looking at late 90s before they ever started putting laws into effect against drunk driving.
Yeah. Rinky Dink and Tinky. What were the little cartoon characters? The little fuzzy, fluffy aliens?
On Sesame Street?
No, it wasn't Sesame Street. It was their own brand. It was actually pitched to a younger audience than like Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Yeah. It's a gay color. It's that little animal is pink, carries a purple.
Okay. I didn't know colors were gay until they brought out this fucking rainbow stupid bullshit. Oofy says, Maria, some churches are sensitizing their congregation to the evil sex education in children's programming. You know what? Porn in children's programming is one thing. Sex education's a whole nother thing.
Yes.
Whole nother thing. Andy says, when I was a mini bus driver, I picked up Darth Vader, 5 stormtroopers, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Stormtroopers were pointing at Obi, chanting, Andy, your brain just is goes.
I've been checked, and there's no cure.
Yeah, it's not happening. Sorry, it's gone.
Teletubbies. Thank you, Ron. The Teletubbies.
Well, that was more than two. I wasn't thinking about that. I remember Teletubbies. They came out.
Yes.
They didn't talk or anything. They
No.
were just fucking weird. They really were. They were just fucking weird. I was like, my kid's not watching that shit. Well, and not only that, my kid wasn't interested in that shit.
Exactly. Yes, that true.
Because it was, yeah. Anyway, Power Rangers were on about that time too. So
yeah.
So all right, we've gone an hour and a half.
Have we sunk below?
And I'm kind of thinking that,
and as the sun slowly slips below the horizon.
Yeah. I'm so happy. It is 7:06 Central Time, and the sun is still out. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
There's the train.
I heard the train. If you hear a train here, that means we're going to have rain.
Okay. Oh, God.
But the wind has finally died down. I think this week it's not going to be as warm as it was last week, but it's still going to be in the.
I'm starting to watch the weather to try to see what it's going to be like on Eclipse Day.
April 8th.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
I saw like a super long range forecast the other day, and to get a good chance of clear skies, it had to be south of Missouri.
Yeah, you're going to have to go to Texas, dear.
I drive into Texas.
I was like, no, not happening.
I'll peek through the clouds or whatever, take my chances.
I was fixing to say, if I drive to Louisville, I think it's 99.25. It's not 100.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay.
It's never been. Totality was going to be in Louisville.
Yeah. So where's the center of the totality?
It's further north, center wise, up into Indiana.
By spring. Indianapolis.
Oh no, it's not. I don't think it. No, it's not that far north. I don't think.
Okay.
It's going to be just right over the river from Louisville. So like that's Albany, Indiana, or whatever. But I'm not going to do that.
The path of totality is like 100 miles wide.
Oh, yes. I'm good with just going to the edge because that's what I was the last time.
Yeah.
It was in Franklin, Kentucky, the last time I cut through here. And it was just absolutely beautiful. And I can remember in the 90s, I don't remember where totality was, but where I was at that time in the 90s, we were like 75%.
Okay.
And that was freaking awesome.
Yes.
75%. But it's like once you see totality, it's like, oh my God, I got to go see it again. But
I don't know. I'll have to if I see another one, and the opportunity to see another one, I haven't really looked for it, but I'd be having to fly somewhere.
Well, and that's the thing. We've had solar eclipses forever across here.
Yes.
And I love it. It's absolutely beautiful to see it.
The next one in the United States is 2044.
Yeah, I'm going to be dead by then. But anyway, I've seen it once, and I've seen Halley's Comet. in my
Yes.
lifetime.
Oh, that's the big talker right now is the new comet.
Oh, the
New
Devil's Comet.
green comet.
Oh no.
I haven't been out at, like, why would I go out at night here?
Yeah, it's fucking
In
cold.
the
Sorry.
freaking cold
Yeah.
when
No.
I know there's nothing but clouds. Yes. I haven't seen the freaking moon for 6 months.
Well, I was fixing to say that's like the last full moon that was here.
Mhm.
It was cloudy. It was either snowing or raining or whatever. It's beautiful because you can see it. You can see how when overcast skies light up everything else. I mean, it's just everything is full of light. But no, I'm not going to go outside and watch all this stuff. And I think right now Jupiter is beside the moon that direction.
Mhm.
I got a good picture of it one time, but to drag my telescope out to look at it, no,
Yeah.
not going to happen.
We'll just leave it. We'll leave that up to Mark
Oh my God. Okay.
Antonio to do
Kevin,
the yeoman's work on that stuff.
yeah. Andy's comment. Yep.
Oh, man. Jupiter. Yes.
Yeah. Screenshots of that. So,
Yes. Popcorn stuff.
yeah.
Natural toast.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So, CT will be glad to know that the last camp that we had, we served a popcorn bar for the kids, which is they get popcorn and they can put chocolate over it, they can put sprinkles over it, they can do caramel, they can do whatever. We just lay it all out there.
You treat those kids really nice.
Honey, I tell you what, when those kids come to camp, they just never forget everything. My favorite is when they do messy games.
Uh-huh.
And that's when they're outside. It's warm, of course. But they get to smear each other with and the people that work there with chocolate pudding,
Oh my God.
different colors of, like they get, I think, yogurt and they dye it or whatever, and they throw the anyways, whatever. It's like a food fight outside, basically is
Nice.
what it is. And then after that, the fire department comes, the volunteer fire department comes, and they put their ladder up way high and they do like a shower.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
everybody can go up underneath that and they get rinsed off, they get clean.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that. But that is a definite camper favorite. They have a great time. But
I'll confess, we're past the time when we could actually be caught for this.
yeah.
A long time ago. Okay. Yeah. There was one guy in our shop. He was always talking about his yard.
Mm-hmm.
And his yard just immaculately groomed, perfect, no perfect grass. So a bunch of us got together and we made 4 50-gallon garbage cans full of popcorn.
Oh, shit.
We raided every Stop and Shop,
I bet.
gas station, or whatever in the area.
Mm-hmm, I bet.
With popcorn. And we covered his entire lawn in the middle of the night.
Shit.
With freaking popcorn. He didn't think it was funny.
It's funny. Just saying, it's funny.
Yes. I mean, the birds the birds loved it. They cleaned it right up, and everything was good.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
a
definitely.
couple of days, you couldn't tell anything happened. So, oh my God, the things you do when you're young and
Young and dumb and full of
drunk.
alcohol. Yep.
Yeah, alcohol helps. Alcohol helps. That's for damn sure. Mm. So I've done my confessions for the day.
Yeah.
Several confessions. So I guess it's time. And as the sun goes down as the sun slips below the horizon in the woods of Kentucky,
Yes.
I guess we're all gonna say good night. Thank you, Grant. I had a really good time today.
Oh, yeah.
Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. And gee, come back next week. You never know what's going to happen here.
Never.
So, good night, everybody. Thanks
Good
for
night.
being here. Love y'all. Bye-bye.